In this module, we will see how the vulnerabilities happen, where to find them, and of course, how to exploit them. They happen when the web developer passes the user input to a specific function, such as MySQL query or include function or any sensitive function, without making any filter to it. Finding them depends on the web page and its function or job. For example, if we browse a page that takes the user input and passing it to a sensitive function without any filter, this can cause vulnerabilities. For example, if we pass the user input to get file contents function or include function without any filter, we can find local file inclusion vulnerability. Or passing the user input to MySQL query function without any filter, we can find SQL injection vulnerability. And the same thing happens when we pass the user input to a function prints out the user input without any filter. This causes a cross-site scripting vulnerability, which is XSS. The vulnerabilities which I will explain in this course are local file inclusion, SQL injection, and cross-site scripting. First, we will start with local file inclusion. We will see how to find it and how to exploit it. But first, we should know some information about this vulnerability. This vulnerability gives us the ability to read files from the server. We can use this vulnerability to read sensitive files or configuration files from the server. Another advanced exploitation for this vulnerability is PHP code injection. In this course, we will execute a simple exploit. But let's see how to find this vulnerability in the real world. The first step to find any vulnerability is to cause an error or unusual behavior. This can be done in different ways, but for now with this vulnerability we will cause an error by trying to read a file which does not exist in the server, or by providing the double dot, which means go back. Let's see how to do it in action. Let's open our course lab. Let's click on vulnerabilities, then local file inclusion. As you can see, the value of the file parameter, which means the user input, is home.php file. This means this page is reading the home.php file. To cause an error or unusual behavior, we will enforce this page to read a file which does not exist in the server. Let's put any value. Since we provided invalid file, the function which used in this page gave us an error. This error tells us that the function which is include failed to open this file. At this point, we knew that our input passed the include function without any filter. This means that we can exploit this vulnerability to read files from the server. Another way to cause an error is by providing the double dot, which tells the function to go back, but without providing a file. This gives the same result. Now let's try to exploit this vulnerability by reading password file, which exists inside the etc directory. Since we are in the bwhp directory, which exists in the path var www, we will use the double dot to go back to the home directory and put the path of the password file. We could read the password file. This file contains the server's users. These users can be used in brute force attack.